During the first sitting, presiding Judge Thami Beshe led an inspection visiting the sites of where the bodies of Calata, Matthew Goniwe, Sparrow Mkhonto and Sicelo Mhlauli were dumped after they were abducted, tortured and had their vehicles set alight 4 decades ago.
So it was an emotional time discussing the whole thing, where the bugs happened, the phones being bugged, phones being tapped. We went through the house. And yeah, just to me, it brings back just painful memories. And also good ones, I suppose, but mostly just painful memories. I remember raids stuff. Even though I was young, I still remember raids, people coming in to look for my father and the other heroes.
Widows, children and friends of the slain anti-apartheid activists all took turns on the stand, giving accounts of how the killings not only shattered their families, but how the government, both during and post-apartheid, let them down.
And I feel that the authorities in this country, ma'am, I understand the apartheid government. They were never going to kill my father and his comrades and then prosecute themselves for doing that. What I don't understand, ma'am, are successive administrations of the African National Congress that have led this country from 1994. And why we've had to fight as hard as we have fought over the last couple of years, 30 years or so, just for us to get justice. It's a betrayal, ma'am, that cuts right to the bone.
But time heals all wounds, eh? But I can tell you, I've never forgiven the people for what they've done. It's just very difficult. There were other options available to take us out of the equation, and for me personally, I still feel pain to this very day. And none of us went through any counselling because of that horrendous period. I'm not talking about just that incident, but there were other comrades whose lives were lost as well.
October saw former members of the South African Police Security Branch and South African National Defence Force, Joffel van der Westhuizen, Isak Krappies Engelbrecht, Craig Williamson, Baron du Plessis and Gerrit Erasmus take the stand.
I'm not sure if he will, if his condition will worsen or if it will get any better.
A spanner was thrown into the works when the lawyer representing Eugene de Kock said he was suffering from heart failure and is too ill to come testify in the current sitting. News that was very upsetting to the families.
In order to act in the interests of justice, in order to ensure that the evidence of these very elderly and sometimes sickly gentlemen are placed on the record before they pass away. And I simply point again, my lady, to their advanced ages. And some of these individuals are in their late 80s. Several of them are simply too ill to travel to Port Elizabeth. My lady, the writing is on the wall. The signs are all there. These are people in the twilight of their lives. They could pass away at any time.
However, the judge ruled that the proceedings can continue while awaiting de Kock's testimony. Most persons of interest denied the allegations made against them or claimed to not remember because of their advanced age.
Eveneens, ek ontken dit en ek het reeds getuig dat ek nie die sein gesien het nie, ek het nie die gesein geskryf nie, ek het nie die gesein bewoord nie.
My lady, I did indicate before I did not send the signal, I did not draft the signal, I'm not responsible for the wording thereof, and I did not sign the signal, and I didn't send it.
Over years, the threat increased and state reaction increased, and we got to a situation where we were basically in a civil war. The revolutionary enemy was not only threatening the stability of the state. I mean, we've all heard the evidence of the situation in the Eastern Cape at that time. We got to the situation that the goal was to eliminate the enemy. And the enemy was clearly defined. And the enemy were trying to eliminate us.
The families were very pleased with the cross-examinations of the persons of interest.
We are particularly proud of the fact as to how our lawyers were able to conduct these hearings and these sessions, and we were able to pose some very serious questions to the persons of interest that of course included Craig Williamson, Gerrit Erasmus, we had Sam de Beer here, and of course we had General Joffel van der Weste is in here today, and you could see that for the first time ever our lawyers were able to ask them questions that they had never had to answer previously. So we're very pleased with that. The thing that doesn't sit well with us, though, is the fact that we couldn't have some of these persons of interest in court with us.
The next session will only sit for a week, starting from the 23rd to the 27th of March next year. Kim Daniels, SABC News, Gqeberha.